The Entrepreneurial Journey Podcast. We're talking business and building a culture that's kick-ass. Where we make it happen, grab your seat, let's have a blast. At the Entrepreneurial Journey Podcast.
Hello.
Hello, Daniel. Let's try again. Hi, everybody.
Technology.
No, this is Daniel Campbell. He's the founder of Redbox. They're a tea and coffee solutions provider, and I want you to tell everybody what that means exactly, Dan, please.
Yeah, so we have great tasting coffee, all ethically sourced. Our tea as well is all organic, fair trade as well. So we to fit around our products, which is teapots, coffee machines, filter machines, coffee cups, sugar sticks, the whole solution really to get a new business up and running.
Okay, right. I understand what the solutions bit means now. So what was the spark that ignited that original business idea?
Wow, how long have we got?
Yeah.
To give you the reason, I need to go a bit in depth about my background and situation at the time. Is that okay?
Yeah, of course. This is about the entrepreneurial journey. So I think our listeners are interested in how people get started.
Sure. Well, I've always been involved with my family's business, which is based up in the Highlands, next to the famous Loch Ness.
Ah.
So my mother and father ran a 26-bedroom hotel and employed around about 30 staff in the height of the season. So as a wee boy, I've always been involved in the business, and I've got fond memories of myself as a wee boy coming in probably at the age of 10, helping my mum and dad out.
Right.
So I used to come in a waistcoat and a wee tartan bow tie. So
that's cute.
My father used to give me a great incentive. Instead of paying me per hour, he used to pay me per table cleared.
Oh.
So as a young boy, I was like, I did the maths and I added up. If I cleared more tables, I would get more money. So every table I used to get 20p.
That's great.
So I always had the best Lego set during primary school, which all my friends used to be jealous of. But I said, well, I'm a working man, you know.
Yeah. Absolutely, yeah.
Now, during that time, my friends and people in my school thought my family had lots of money because we had a business, but it's totally not true. We're probably cash rich maybe, but it all goes to overheads and staff, and as you know, running your own business.
Yeah.
But we always had enough to get by, obviously, and running a family a Highland hotel is not easy, especially in the winter. But we did manage to go on a 2-week vacation every year, which was great.
Yeah.
And just great memories. I remember, for example, Christmas time, the whole family would be in the hotel. One would be in the kitchen, would be serving the food, setting the dinners up. And then we would have a Christmas after it, So there's always, business was very much integral as when growing up, which I'm glad about because hard work and ethics were drummed into me at a very young age. For example,
and it's good because I think anybody listening who has a young family and they are either running a business or they're thinking of starting a business, one of their concerns is how that impacts on the kids. But actually what you're saying there, Dan, is that it was a real positive influence.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, if it wasn't for the family business, I don't know what I'd be doing now. I knew from a very young age I love hospitality. I love the buzz. I love the different people. I love serving guests to the best of my ability. I love when they leave satisfied. It gave me a real kick that it was my family's business, and you take pride in that.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do, definitely. Okay, go on. So how did why tea and coffee?
So why tea and coffee? As I said, after I graduated from hotel school, I sorry, one second. Yeah, so after my graduation, I came back to Edinburgh and I worked in some Michelin-starred restaurants.
Mm-hmm.
I then took a GM role at a private members club in
Nice.
Edinburgh. I'm not going to mention names.
No, don't.
So,
And also, you say you graduated, but you trained in Switzerland, didn't you?
yeah, training in Switzerland was a remarkable opportunity. It was a great experience, and I would say, looking back, I was a bit naive and immature.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't quite grasp the whole the possibilities that could be in front of me. But hindsight's a great thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I did receive one honour there, which I was very proud of, which was I won the student who drank the most beer at student bar in 2006. So that just kind of sums up my time as a student.
Okay. So yeah, you being the Scottish one, let's not get into
Absolutely.
stereotypes, but yeah, okay.
Those days have changed now, Rebecca.
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
You're very clean living these days. I know that. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So yeah, when I was general manager of my hotel, I was there for 5 years. It was the most turbulent times of my life, I would say. It was a serious test of my nerves, well-being, and just my life in general, really.
It's a tough job.
It is. So I put really my all into it. I gave 110%.
Yeah.
Nothing was going to stop me to turn this failing business around, which I managed to do, me and my team, which I'm proud of.
Yeah, very.
But I did put a lot of sacrifices on the line: my health, relationship, friendship, and my social life.
Right.
And I didn't really have a life for those 5 years because I was working, 90 hours a week, most weeks 7 days a week. I mean, my longest shift there was 36 hours straight.
Goodness me.
So yeah, I was pretty down. It was not a great time of my life, and why I'm telling you this story is because then I saw the light. The day that it could all change. Misha, my partner, which our relationship was very turbulent at the time, came to me and said, we're expecting a baby.
Oh, right.
So yeah, I don't know why she stuck around. She must have saw something in me that I didn't see at the time.
Right.
But that was the reason that I needed to change. I needed, I woke up in the mornings and looked at myself in the mirror, and I was feeling low. I was not liking the person looking back at me.
Okay.
So yeah, and I had to take responsibility for myself. And yeah, if I can't take responsibility myself, how can I take responsibility for this young person coming into the world? So I really, drastic measures really. I changed my mindset and my values. I didn't blame anybody else for my mishaps and why I was feeling so down. And I wanted to be a better person and be a better father. So in 2015, I took the plunge, and I took a personal loan out of £15,000 to buy a coffee roaster.
Wow.
And to travel down to London for a week to learn how to roast coffee and set up your own coffee business, which was fantastic.
Yeah.
And it just opened my eyes of the possibility, where coffee can go, and if you get it right, a quality product. I also learned that it was the second biggest traded commodity in the world after oil.
No way.
Yeah,
I did not know that.
Which is worth billions and billions of dollars or pounds a year. And also it was a recession-proof product as well.
Yeah.
So from an outsider looking in, you're thinking, this could really work. And I just love coffee. I love the whole story about it, how it's growing, all the different regions that grow it have different tastes, and it excited me. There's something about coffee that, it just captured my imagination.
Yeah, and this is really interesting. We've just released the entrepreneurial journey course on the TriCrest platform. And there is a part of that course that talks about that moment you invest. So you took out a personal loan for £15,000, which meant that you got that idea, you invested in it, you took a risk. We call that the leap of faith.
Yeah, yeah, it
Um,
felt like that at the time.
yeah,
Absolutely.
it does. Just describe those feelings at the time that you were feeling when you took that leap of faith.
Yeah, I mean, it was excitement when the money hit my bank. I'm like, wow, I've never seen that much amount of money.
Yeah,
That quickly disappeared.
yeah, yeah. It
And I was
does.
like, wow, I really need to do something with this.
Mm-hmm.
But no, it was it was excitement more than anything, and obviously a bit of worry as well to say,
Yeah,
what about if the business, fails.
yeah,
But business is, sometimes never forever. So I said, well, if it fails, at least I gave it a shot, my best
yeah,
shot. But
yeah.
luckily, 4 years on, we've come on leaps and bounds from that, and we're going from strength to strength, and the excitement hasn't disappeared really,
Good,
which I'm glad
good.
to say.
No, that's good. And what drives you to get out of bed in the morning, Dan? What's that motivator?
Yeah, for me, it's about having a purpose, really, a purpose in your
Mm-hmm.
life, and a purpose, why you're in business. You need to have a purpose why you're doing business. So, yeah, in my early days in business, when I set up the business, I didn't know exactly where I was going as a person or where the business was going. So, I almost like imagining myself at that time. I was on a boat and letting the river dictate my fate and destiny.
Oh.
And yeah, and I honestly didn't know that you could change, evolve, and develop yourself for the benefit of the business. I just thought,
Mm.
you're born talented or you're born an entrepreneur, but that's absolute rubbish.
It's not true, is it?
It's not true. So yeah, I started jotting down things on a piece of paper to say, what I desired in life,
Mm.
what my perfect ideal life would look like. And from a young age, I always knew I wanted to own my own business. And the main reason then was to make money,
Yeah.
which is quite selfish, really.
Mm-hmm.
But now I think, I'm in business now to make a difference and to fulfill my calling in life, which my calling in life is to make the world a better environment than I found it in.
Oh, great.
So at this day and age, I don't think there's.
Oh, oh, Dan, we've lost you. Oh, yeah, you've come back. Yeah,
Good,
this
good,
day
good.
and age.
Oh, I
Yeah.
know, I know. So this day and age, yeah, there shouldn't be, in my mind, poverty, famine, or global warming, and we're damaging our one and only home, and it shouldn't be that
Mm.
way. So in my mind, businesses should be more sustainable and more ethically driven to support, the farmers and the growers. They grow, coffee beans and they make less than $1 a day. No, I
Yeah.
don't accept that.
Yeah.
So yeah, also what gets me up in the morning is to improve and learn all the time.
Mm.
So I read the ebook, which is called the 5 a.m. Club. I don't know if you've ever read that yourself.
No, no, I have not.
It's by an entrepreneur and author called Robin Sharma.
Oh, I'm just reading The Monk Who Sold His Red
Oh yeah,
Ferrari.
I've got to read that. I think that was his first book.
Yeah, I'm just reading it now.
Yeah,
Haha.
wow. Well, I'd thoroughly recommend the 5 a.m. Club, definitely.
Okay.
And yeah, for the last 2 years, I've dabbled in morning routines because it's so important for me now that you get a morning routine to set you up for the day and get the most out of your day.
Mm-hmm.
So this one really resonated with me that when I read this simple formula, it's called the 20-20-20 formula,
Okay.
which he calls it the victory hour.
Right.
So basically, what I do is you start with 20 minutes of exercise.
Right.
So I take my bike out in the morning at 5 a.m. There's no traffic on the roads. It's absolutely fantastic. I get that endorphin rush, and going in the brain.
Cool.
And then I come home and I spend 20 minutes of reflection.
Right.
So I meditate and I think of all the nice things that are in my life and I'm grateful for. And then 20 minutes of learning, where I usually read a book or listen to a podcast or read about the coffee industry.
Okay.
And this certainly gets me going for the day. Keeps
I love
me
that.
keeps me really focused and empowers me, and I feel amazing, and it makes me plow through any problems that faces on a daily basis.
That's great. I'm going to read that, and I think that's a lovely simple formula, isn't it? 20 20
Yeah,
20.
no, I like simple formulas. I don't like overcomplicated things about going into neuroscience and big words. It's way above me. But this one is really simple that I can relate to. Absolutely.
Oh, that's good. That's amazing. Who inspires you today, Dan?
So yeah, I wouldn't say that there would be one entrepreneur that I would really idolize and want to be his or her position.
Mm-hmm.
So, there's leaders on a global, worldwide basis turning over billions of pounds, and then there's more family-run businesses based here in Scotland, and I try and study each and every business and entrepreneur.
Yeah.
So what I do is when I'm traveling around in my car, I try, because I do travel a lot down to England, up to the Highlands to sales or meetings. So I try and use that time as productive time where I can learn and grow. And before I just used to listen to the radio, listen to music, or listen to the news, which is usually always negative news. So not good.
Yeah.
So I listen to ebooks on Audible or podcasts.
Yeah.
And I basically take, I love listening to entrepreneurs and interviews like this one.
Yes. Yeah.
I just take their beliefs, tips, and values that are most relevant for me at that moment in time.
Yeah.
And use it within the business. But if there be one podcast and one entrepreneur that I truly admire and relate to most is called Tom Bilyeu. I don't know if you've ever heard of Tom. He's founder of Quest Nutrition, which is a nutrition bar.
Okay.
Which sold for $1 billion.
Wow.
And why I can relate to him is he says that he was just hopelessly average.
Right.
And he learned and developed skill sets and mindset changes to make you unstoppable. So yeah, I will admit it. I am hopelessly average, or I used to be a lot more average than I used to be. So yeah, I just listen to him, and he interviews some amazing disruptors of industries and entrepreneurs, and I just take a lot from that, and I take snippets of each and every individual that goes on the interview.
And what's his surname? I didn't catch that.
It's Bilyeu.
How do you spell that?
Oh goodness, 1 second.
It doesn't matter. We'll find him.
Oh, here we go. It's Bilyeu.
Brilliant. Thank you. Because that our listeners are like you in that they'll have the podcast running in the car or while they're cooking the dinner, or on their headphones while they're walking the dog, or whatever it is. And I know for sure that all the entrepreneurs that we interview are always reading, listening, watching, because very much like you, they get those snippets of information, some of those key ideas that really spur them on. And it might be just one sentence that you hear or read that triggers something, isn't it? It's quite incredible. And again, you and this isn't a setup, but you have very happily described the Thinking Big course that we've just added to the platform, which is all about that mindset piece, because it's so important when you're running and growing a business to get that mindset piece right, isn't it?
Oh, it certainly is. Yeah. Without my mindset now, it's changing me as a person, and it's changing the business, which is great.
Yeah, it's great. So as a kid, when you were growing up, who did you look up to, and who inspired you then?
Yeah, my answer is very close to home. I would say it would be my father.
Right.
Obviously, this is pre-internet, pre-podcasts, where you had the click of a button.
Yeah.
So we grew up in a village, and there was entrepreneurs in that village, but it was mainly tourism. So I didn't have really somebody that I would really aspire to be, but I saw my father as somebody that worked really, really hard, and even to this day he still works really hard, and I still admire him for what he's achieved.
Yeah.
But when I was growing up as a wee boy, I could see how much in the team, people looked up to him and respected him, and in turn worked really hard for the small business. And then the people in our village also respected him, what he built up and achieved. So yeah, when I was growing up, I looked up to him and I wanted to be like him and to
Yeah.
be respected and revered as he was.
Yeah. And the more I work with what I would call grassroots entrepreneurs, the more I feel that it's the small to medium sized business owners that are the backbone of our communities
Very
across
much so.
the UK and across the globe,
Hmm.
actually. And we hear about the big businesses and we hear the good and the bad and the big named entrepreneurs, but actually, it's people like your dad, it's people like you who employ local people, give people livelihoods, give people training, that actually I think are the unsung heroes of every economy on the planet.
Yeah, no, I'd agree with that, certainly.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
I was never, brought up in a fellowship or
no,
funding or anything like that. I've just learned through the trade what I know best through hard work and
yeah,
determination. And, my father's got so much persistence,
yeah,
which has
yeah,
hopefully rubbed off on me. He's been bankrupt once, and I saw that whole transition. First time I saw my father cry,
right,
but he wasn't crying for long. He brushed himself off and said, "Right, what am I going to do now?" And that's
yes,
when he set up his new business then, which is still around today with the founding founders,
yeah,
and it's doing extremely well. So,
yeah.
oh,
That's
absolutely, I would agree with that.
Yeah, no, good. We've talked a little bit about the purpose of your business and leaving the world in a better state than which you found it, and that being around the environment.
Hmm.
And you've talked about what you great. We can edit that bit out, Dan. It's okay.
Oh, here we go. I can hear you
Yeah,
now.
yeah, yeah. So we've
All right, cool.
talked about the environmental purpose of your business. What can other business owners do to minimize their impact on the environment, do you think?
Yeah, it's all about trying to be more sustainable.
Mm,
So, trying we funded all of our staff reusable cups, takeaway cups, and water bottles,
yeah,
so we can eliminate our one-use cups because we were very lackadaisical about that back in the day.
yeah.
We've also set up a green champion within our business.
Mm,
So her name's Jenny, and she's very very passionate about the. I mean, she's a what's the word? A green warrior, as we call it.
right, right.
So little things like our milk bottle tops, we send them free post to Lush, who make packaging out of it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we've cut down on cling film within the business, so we've
Right,
got tubs that we use that we can just wash, so there's no cling film going in the bin.
great.
We're very very strict on segregating all of our waste, so cardboard, paper, plastic. And we try to cut as much plastic out as possible.
Yeah,
And what we do is we communicate that to the customers as well, so they try and be sustainable as well as us.
yeah.
But we've also become affiliate members of Green Tourism, who
Yes.
come into our business and they basically see how sustainable you are, and they praise you for things you're doing well and tips on where you can improve.
Okay.
So at the moment we've been awarded the Silver Award, which we're
Well,
striving now to be the best and get the Gold Award. So
well
hopefully
done.
soon that will change. So there's lots of things you can do within a business to be more sustainable. Just Google how to become a more sustainable business.
Yeah.
But also our tea bags, our sugar sticks, our takeaway cups. Everything is compostable. Everything that is single use is compostable.
Oh, that's good. Oh,
We've
that's
also joined a great charity, which it's taken a wee while to choose one, which we thought was right for our business. It's called the Waterfall Project.
right.
So basically, they give access to clean water in developing countries, and
Ah,
not just developing countries, but countries that grow coffee and tea.
okay.
So it's very It fits nicely within our business. So
Yeah.
basically, there's two programs we're signing up to. So one is called the paper cup charge, where we charge 25p for a takeaway cup to consumers,
Okay.
which we tell them, that is then donated directly to, access to drinking water in developing countries.
Right.
And then it also cuts down on our one-use coffee cup usage as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a two-pronged approach.
That's good.
Another project is in the Roasters program. So we'll donate a part of our, cost of, per kilo
Okay.
for coffee, which we're still working it out at the moment, but we will, put that on the coffee bags, and then that will go directly to the Waterfall project, which is great. And plus, why we chose them is that all the proceeds go directly to the farmers. They don't go to big shops and offices.
Oh, good. Good.
So all
Yeah.
their overheads, all their admin costs, that comes from corporate donations. So
Okay.
everything that's raised out in the field goes directly to the farmers.
Good. Oh, that's great. What a great initiative. That's fantastic.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And Dan, what keeps you awake at night?
Yeah, things. I mean, now there's not much things that keep me up at night because, well, usually it's a no-brainer idea that
Yeah.
gets me excited,
Okay.
where I can implement that into the business or a new business idea, and I have to write it down in my notebook, any idea I get. So I've always got one close near me.
Right.
Because if I didn't have that book, I would just think and think and think, and yeah, not have any sleep. But whether I do anything with these ideas in this book, I will never know. But I have to remain focused on my current business at the moment. But yeah, also things that keep me up at night would be nerves about seeing a big potential customer. So I've turned that into a positive, where I role play the whole scenario and the whole meeting. And I imagine how the meeting will go, and I'll visualize winning that business, and that makes me more relaxed and more positive the next day. When we all get nervous occasionally, but it does help. It does help.
Good, and it really helps to visualize it going well. So many people waste energy visualizing on how badly it could go.
Oh, well, that's what I used to think about,
Okay.
I'm not going to win it. There's bigger companies than me. And of course, I'm not going to win the business if I'm saying that. But if I'm saying to myself, I'm going to be really positive, I'm going to win that business, they're going to be blown away with our products, then, that's half the battle when you've got that mentality.
Yeah, it is, definitely. And how, you've mentioned your morning routine, how else do you relax and switch off?
So yeah, I'm lucky now. I'm not required to work at weekends within the business. I do occasionally do the urgent task where a customer's run out of coffee, or there is an important client I need to see and their only time is a weekend, but I try and tie that together with a trip away.
Yeah.
But yeah, I try and spend as much time with family as possible.
Yeah.
And I want to see my son grow up. He's turning 6 next week.
Is he? Oh.
Yes, he is.
Oh, bless him.
And I'm proud to say that I've seen him grow up, and it was scary for me to not see him grow up, and I would never get that time back.
Yeah.
And yeah, when I go home, I'm obviously still in business mode, and I used to be in business mode. I couldn't switch off at the house. So what I've done is, when I get home, before I walk in, I visualize leaving my business head outside.
Oh, okay.
And I put on my family head.
Wonderful.
And just doing that has helped me so much to break away from, because owning your own business, you know what it's like, Rebecca. It's not easy to switch off.
No, it's not.
So that's a great little trick for me, was to, because you can be two people. You can be a businessman and you can be a family man, and be happy and live both to your potential. So yeah, and also my morning routine helps me as well, switch off. Yeah. Definitely. And when things become overwhelming, which nothing is always goes to plan, as you know.
Yeah.
So I put my headsets on, I just take a big long walk after my son goes to bed, and yeah, just if things aren't going to plan, or if I'm upset about something, which is generally little things that can be changed, but I just try and speak to myself, rethink, and get a better frame of mind. And honestly speaking, that's when I come up with the best decisions
It's true.
and blow off much needed steam without anyone knowing that I'm going through that. And yeah, it's great. I feel really revitalized after my long walk, and get my head down the next day and go for it again.
Yeah, good. I love that notion of taking your business head off and putting your family head on as you come through the front door. I think that's fantastic. I think that's really good.
Yeah, and
Um,
I also don't really look at emails when I get home anymore.
yeah, good.
I
Yeah.
used to always have my phone next to me for a phone call or an email. I used to check emails all the time, but that there's always the next day.
There
What could
is.
go wrong in a few hours?
Yeah,
Nothing that can't be picked up the
the
next day.
next day. Absolutely. And if it's really urgent, somebody will phone you.
Exactly,
Yeah,
exactly,
yeah,
totally.
absolutely. Absolutely. So what's the biggest frustration about running and leading a business for you?
Yeah, I think back in the day, I think my answers are, because I have changed within myself, is giving you a perspective before the change and maybe now, present day.
Mm,
So, being a business leader before, I used to be frustrated quite a lot. I'll be honest with you. I used to check up on people and check up on businesses and compare themselves to me and my business, and
mm,
it just get me in a rut really, and I wouldn't go anywhere or think positively.
right.
So even if we didn't win a contract or a tender, I used to beat myself up about it and think I wasn't good enough or the product wasn't good enough. But now realise to not take it personally,
Right.
to take ownership that hey, we might not have been good enough or big enough. But regardless of winning or failing, each contract or tender, I always ask for feedback from the client.
Okay.
So where we can improve each and every time. And I also say to myself, if things didn't go right, how can we do things differently next time to blow them away? Because obviously we didn't do good enough. And I think taking ownership of that to say, hey, maybe we're not good enough is a great trick for me,
Yeah.
and makes you strive to be better each and every time.
Feedback's so important, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely,
So
absolutely.
important. And you've got to take that feedback in that way you've described as, well, let's use it to improve.
Mhm, mhm.
And nobody likes to hear feedback that doesn't make them look fabulous.
Yeah.
Nobody likes to hear. I don't like to call it negative feedback, because it's still, you can use it constructively, whatever it is,
Oh, absolutely.
to
Yeah.
reflect. But yeah, that's how to use it. If it's not gone well, you use that feedback to go, okay, how can we improve? Definitely. Cool.
Yeah.
So Dan, what's next? Where are you taking the business next?
Yeah. So we're gaining a lot of traction now and becoming a brand, which
Yeah,
is very exciting.
it is.
We're looking to move to a bigger premises,
Yeah,
so we'll have a proper showroom, proper coffee school,
brilliant.
so clients can come in and try out the equipment before they can buy. At the moment, we take them to other clients, which is good to build networking. Don't get me wrong, but for a new business, they want to see each and every model and their capability,
Yeah.
and also a tasting and blending room, so people can taste each and every coffee, come up with a bespoke coffee for their business. And now we've come a long way, as I mentioned, from taking a £15,000 loan out. I'm proud of
Yeah.
our achievements without any investment really,
Yeah.
and we're currently turning over just in the wholesale business alone £500,000.
Brilliant.
So we're looking to increase that, and hopefully next year we'll be around about 700,000, which is great.
Brilliant. Fantastic.
And we haven't really scratched the surface in terms of turnover or brand or anything like that. And we strive to be the market leaders in environmentally friendly coffee solutions.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't say our company culture is bad by any means, but to be market leaders, we really need to focus on company culture.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got great ideas of putting in a gym in the coffee facility.
Wow.
The breakout rooms, the relaxing rooms, and just building the team.
Brilliant.
And not only do we want employees to be employees, we want them to be shareholders of the business.
Okay.
So we can nurture and grow and learn and grow this amazing business where it can go and it will go together.
Fantastic. No, that's wonderful to hear. And where can people find you? What's the web domain, Dan?
So you can find the business at www.redboxcoffee.com.
Brilliant.
And you'll see what we're up to, what we're all about, and why we do what we do. And also you can buy tea and coffee online as well for home use, which is very new.
Oh, that is new. Well done. It's taken you a while to get that up, but well done.
It certainly has. So there is a discount code if you subscribe with the email address, which will keep you up to date what we're doing.
Great.
And it'll give you a 15% discount on the whole basket, really.
Oh, fantastic. Right. I will be ordering my coffee online from now on. Brilliant.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Oh, wonderful. Dan, it's been amazing to talk to you. I particularly love your approach to mindset. You recognizing that you needed to change that and you going ahead and change that and continuing to work on that, because you're never a finished product as a human being, are you?
I've only started, so there's so much more I can learn and do and improve within myself. So it's great. That's like you said, that's what keeps me going, gets me up in the morning and striving for my purpose in life, which I'm glad to say that I found. And it's great. It's exciting times.
Yeah, it's really, really good. And congratulations on being 4 years in business, getting to that 500,000 revenue milestone. I'm pretty sure we're going to see you do even bigger and better things in the next few years, Dan, and we'll all be watching with keen interest and drinking your coffee.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Which is amazing. Listen, thanks so much for your time. You take care, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you so much, Becca. Brilliant. You too. Have a great day, and we'll speak soon.
Thanks, Dan. Cheers.
Thank you. Cheers now.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
The Entrepreneurial Journey Podcast. We're talking business and building a culture that's kick-ass.